well, hypnosis, much like NLP, is greatly misunderstood because, you know, we've seen movies and TV, but I always use the analogy, it's kind of like the martial arts. You know, if you've seen a martial arts movie, people think that's what karate's all about, or kung fu, where if you really study it, you find out it's not magical. You can't, you know, do these things that like Jet Li or Bruce Lee could do. You know, it's a structure and a study. But hypnosis actually does some miraculous things underneath the surface because it works on the subconscious level. And it really gets to the very core of things without getting caught up in like what's going on the surface. Well, one of the ways to look at what NLP really does, and a good example I always use to tell people, is it begins to restructure your brain, kind of what's going on the inside. And you actually have this thing in your brain called your reticular activating system. It's the part of your brain that separates out all the information that's coming in at any given time. You know, the clothes on your body, the shoes on your feet, the air conditioner noise in the background. All this information goes into people's heads, but they're not aware of it. But if you learn how to train that, what NLP, one of the things it does is it teaches you how to train that so you can get more things done. And a good example is if you've ever wanted a new car, but you haven't decided what kind of car you want to buy yet, so you're looking at this model and that model and this model, and then let's say you decide you're going to buy a Honda, you know, and all of a sudden everywhere you look you see that Honda. The day before you wouldn't have noticed it. Now you see it on the street, you see it here, you see it there, because you told your brain this is important to me, and so that's why it goes and finds it. Another example I always use for guys and or girls is if two people walk into a club and they're single and they're looking to date and meet people. If one person thinks, let's say a blonde-haired, a fair-complected girl is beautiful, and the other one thinks a dark-haired girl is beautiful, they walk in the same club. The guy that only thinks blondes are beautiful, that's all he'll see, and he'll point those out, and the other guy won't even notice them, and vice versa. You know, this guy will point out, oh, look at those, and they won't even notice them. And same, you know, it's why people also are always attracted to the same people over and over again. But what we can do is retrain that part of our mind to help us find things like success, money, better relationships, you know, better opportunities for your family. I mean, if you begin to retrain it, it focuses it in a different direction, and that's one of the simple things the NLP and the hypnosis can do.